Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Liesl, back with another DIY for you today. This is super cheap. I got everything here from the dollar store except for the spray paint that I used, but that was the cheapest white spray paint that Walmart sold. I'm pretty sure it was actually only like $1, maybe $2. I'll put it right here how much it actually cost. But basically, if you have none of these supplies at home and you went out to get them, you would only spend like $5 or $6 on this DIY. If you already had some white spray paint, or you already had some acrylic paint on hand, or you know, you already had like an old rug that you just weren't in love with anymore, you would spend less. It's not super expensive to make this DIY, and I think it turns out super cute. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you can watch me, and if you'd like to see how to make this, just keep watching.
Okay, so I started off with this black rug from Dollar Tree and my white spray paint. If they had a white rug at Dollar Tree, I would have just gotten that and it would have saved me a whole lot of time, but Dollar Tree doesn't sell a white rug. So I got black and just spray painted it white. And it didn't turn out to be a completely white shade. It was more of like a light gray color because I was lazy and I'd already done 4 coats of paint and I was kind of just done at this point. But if you really want it to be a true white, you can just keep going and do 6 or 7 coats until it's a nice vibrant white. But this is how mine turned out, and I thought it turned out pretty cute with my pinks at the end. And this is what it turned out to look like. And when I folded up to compare the black, it looked pretty white to me, but once I finished my DIY, I realized it was actually pretty gray. So keep that in mind.
Okay, so step 1 is to tape off the first section of stripes. Now I'm just using blue painter's tape. I got this at Dollar Tree. You can use whatever brand of painter's tape you want. This is the thickness of my painter's tape. You can change it up if you want thinner stripes or thicker stripes, however you want. I'm just gonna leave it as is because I think the thickness is good. Okay, so what you can do is you can get a tiny piece of painter's tape, just like any size works, like that. This is gonna show you how thick to leave a space for your stripes. So I'm going to stick this at the very beginning where the rug starts, and I guess I actually did a good job with this one. And we are going to tape this off.
And of course, because I suck at planning, mine doesn't go all the way to the end, so you'll want to make sure your tape goes all the way to the end.
And you don't have any excess that is going to be peeking through, because you want your lines to be nice and crisp. Then what you can do is take this piece of tape off and stick it next to it on this side now. And then take your tape and do another stripe. Make sure that's pressed down nice and hard. Then you take this off and you keep going. And I already showed you guys that I spray painted this rug white. It was black to begin with. If they had sold a white rug, I would have bought the white rug. But I wanted the colors to really be vibrant and pop out. And you can use whatever colors you want. You don't have to use pink. I'm just using pink because I figured it would be a good like spring, summertime rug that I can keep out for, you know, like 6 months or whatever, and it's, you know, it transitions well. You can completely make this customizable to the season, to the holiday. You can make this red and green for Christmas. You could do orange and purple for Halloween. That would be super adorable. And it's so cheap that you can make 10 rugs and still not spend as much as you would on like a Hobby Lobby rug. I don't love that there's an uneven amount on this end here, but I'm not going to worry about it so much that I go through and center all of my tape and everything, because I think this will be okay. Now I'm just going to go through and make sure these are all pressed down really well, and now we're going to start mixing our light pink. Okay, so I'm going to be doing pink, like I said earlier. I'm going to do a light pink and a dark pink. I haven't decided yet if I want this to be the shade of my dark pink or if I want to take it a little bit lighter than this. So we're just going to kind of see how our light pink turns out and go from there. So what I'm going to do first is I have some newspaper here, and we are going to start off with white and add pink to it, because that's much easier than going from hot pink to light pink by adding white. Okay, so I think that is good. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start painting. And you can use whatever brush you want to use. You can use a sponge if you want. I'm probably going to use this little sponge. This came in like a 3 or 4 pack at the Dollar Tree, and kind of set it over the newspaper in case it drips a little bit. And then we're just going to start painting. And I didn't add a ton of white spray paint. I could have just kept going and going and going until the bottle was empty, pretty much. But I kind of liked the idea of the like grayish tone peeking through the rug and showing up, because that would kind of give it more of like a rustic kind of look to it, rather than it being so like stark. Now a lot more paint is soaking into the rug than I thought was going to, so I've already used up almost half of the cup of paint that I made before, and I'm only on the 3rd stripe. And I think what I'm going to do, actually, just to cover my butt in case I can't recreate this color exactly, I'm going to switch to the other end of the rug and start working inward with this shade of pink, just so that if the other shade of pink is slightly different, it blends a little bit more and it doesn't just look like this half is this color and this half is this color. Okay, so we have the whole thing painted now. I'm going to set this aside. What we're going to do now is we're going to pull off our tape, and it's going to reveal a super cute gray stripe,
which is supposed to be more white, but it works.
And you can leave it just like this if you want. It's super adorable just like this. I'm actually going to start off with the middle, so it's somewhat centered. I'm going to kind of stand up to see exactly where the middle is. You can measure this. I don't really care if it's exact. And I'm just going to go through, and I'm just going to push down on my tape and make sure we have nice sealed edges. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to make the same color of pink that we just worked with, and we're going to go in and we're going to paint all of these little gray squares, all of these little gray squares, and we're going to paint those pink.
My arm hurts. This is not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. Getting an arm workout.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my darker pink. So we're going to kind of move this out of the way a tiny bit, like so. And I got pink all over my table, so I'm going to try to go in with nail polish remover, and we'll see if it removes it. I have no idea if it's going to. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the hot pink this time. And we're going to add white to this. And we want to make sure that these two pinks are contrasting well, but that they're different enough that you can tell that there's a difference, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to make sure all of my lighter pink is off of there. And now we're going to set this aside, and we're going to finish off taping the last little bit of our rug. So now what we're going to do is we're going to paint over the squares that we just painted, if that makes sense. So the ones that we just filled in, we're going to tape on top of those squares. I actually was just thinking I'm going to start doing some nerdy gamer crafts. I was thinking as I was just doing this, I was like, you could easily do this as like a Minecraft rug. You could do like green squares and brown squares and black squares and stuff. I think that would be awesome looking. So that is another idea. If you are a fellow gamer, you can do that as well. And maybe I'll have to do that. Comment down below if you want to see a Minecraft rug. Okay, so now the last step is to go through and paint all of these pink squares a darker shade of pink. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so cute. I'm so excited, you guys.
I came up with this color scheme in my head and I was like, I don't know if it's gonna work out, but I'm down to try.
We're almost done, you guys. You've almost made it. If you're still watching, thank you so much because I really appreciate it. I'm really trying to grow my YouTube channel, and views and likes and comments are the only thing that's going to get me there. We're almost out of paint, but I am determined to make it last. And then you can just go back through and touch up any areas that you feel need a little bit more of the hot pink color. It is time to pull up the tape. I'm going to turn this and we're just going to carefully pull everything upwards. Ta-da! Isn't that so freaking cute? I love it. I think that's so adorable. It's so, so, so cute. I love it. Okay, you guys, it's all done. I'm so excited. I think it looks so cute. So perfect for spring and summer. I gotta pull it up by the gray ones, but look how cute. I love it. If you did do black and white, it would look more buffalo check because it would be contrasting with the grayish color underneath. But I wanted that grayish color to be with my pinks, so I left it pink as it is because I think it's super adorable. So make sure you guys recreate this craft and tag me if you do at Little Liesl Creations. And come back next week for another video on Saturday. Bye!